He came home early and caught his wife hurting his little daughter. The ending will leave you in tears. Just before we continue with this thrilling story, remember to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Tales Be Gracious. We'd love to know your location, so type in the comments where you're watching from. Enjoy the story. Ethan Cole was not supposed to be home that early. The sky above Willow Hill, a quiet town with golden trees and cobblestone streets, was still bright with the soft afternoon sun. Usually, Ethan didn't leave work until late. As the owner of a growing tech company, his days were full of meetings and long phone calls. But that Friday, something felt different. He missed his daughter. He wanted to see her smile, hear her laugh, and surprise her with her favorite strawberry ice cream. The tall iron gates of his home creaked as they opened. The house stood proud at the top of a hill, large but quiet. Too quiet. Ethan stepped inside and expected to hear music playing, or his wife humming in the kitchen, or even little footsteps running down the hallway. But all he heard was silence. He walked slowly past the living room and toward the sunroom at the back of the house. That's where he often found his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, drawing or reading with her tiny feet tucked under her. Lily had been born with a leg condition that made walking hard. She used crutches but never let that stop her from exploring her imagination through her colorful sketches. But what Ethan saw next stopped him cold. His wife, Madeline, was standing over Lily, her face twisted in anger. "How many times do I have to tell you to be careful?" she snapped. Before Lily could respond, Madeline knocked one of the crutches out from under her. Lily fell hard onto the rug, letting out a small cry. Ethan stood frozen, unable to breathe. His precious little girl, gentle, kind, and already struggling, was being hurt in her own home. Ethan stepped into the room just as Lily looked up. Her eyes were wide with fear until she saw her father. Then she burst into tears and crawled toward him as fast as she could. Ethan dropped to his knees and wrapped his arms around her trembling body. He whispered, "I'm here. I've got you." Madeline's face turned pale when she realized he had seen everything. Ethan said nothing. His heart was racing, not with fear, but with fury. He looked at his wife, and for the first time, he truly saw her not as a partner, but as someone who had failed the one person he loved most. And just like that, everything changed. The silence in the house felt heavy, like a thick blanket no one could pull off. Ethan carried Lily upstairs to her bedroom, holding her tightly. She rested her head on his shoulder, her cheeks wet with tears, her small hands clinging to his shirt. He laid her gently on her bed and sat beside her. "I didn't know," he said softly, brushing her hair back. "I should have known. I should have been here." Lily didn't speak. She just nodded slowly, as if her silence said more than words ever could. Downstairs, Madeline waited. When Ethan came back down, she tried to speak. "You don't understand. She always breaking things or making a mess. I never meant to." "Enough," Ethan said. His voice was low, but his eyes were fierce. "You don't get to explain this away. You hurt her. You made her feel like a burden in her own home." Madeline stood frozen. For a moment, she looked angry. Then scared. Then quiet. "I want you out," Ethan said. "Tonight." "But Ethan, she's my daughter. And she comes first." By nightfall, Madeline was gone. The house felt empty again, but this time in a different way. Not quiet, but calm. Safe. That night, Ethan didn't go back to work. He sat in Lily's room beside her bed, reading her stories until she fell asleep. He watched her breathe, her tiny chest rising and falling. And for the first time in a long time, he realized how far he had drifted. Work had taken so much of his time, and he thought giving Lily a new mother would fill the space left by her real one. But love doesn't work that way. Love needs to be chosen, shown, and spoken. Over the next few days, Ethan canceled his meetings and stayed home. He cooked Lily's meals, helped her with schoolwork, and asked gentle questions. Slowly, she began to talk, halting at first, then with more ease. She used to tell me not to laugh too loud, Lily whispered one evening. And she said people wouldn't like me because of my crutches. Ethan's heart broke again. He wrapped her in a hug. None of that is true. You are brave, kind, and loved. And I will never let anyone treat you that way again. Outside, the trees of Willow Hill swayed in the wind, but inside, Ethan was building a new kind of home, one rooted in truth, safety, and love. Weeks passed in Willow Hill, and the seasons began to shift. The sharp chill of autumn touched the trees, painting the leaves in reds and golds. In the coal house, something else was changing, slowly, gently, beautifully. Lily started to smile more. Her laughter returned, soft at first, like a forgotten melody, then stronger each day. She painted again, bright pictures full of sunshine, flowers, and happy faces. Her drawings no longer hid in a drawer. Ethan framed them and placed them all around the house. Every room carried her joy. Ethan kept his promise. He didn't return to his old work schedule. Instead, he hired a small team to help him manage his business so he could stay close to Lily. Each morning, they ate breakfast together. In the evenings, they sat by the fireplace reading books or playing board games. One day, Lily surprised her father. She stood up with her crutches beside her but didn't reach for them. "I want to try," she said softly. "Try what?" Ethan asked, setting his coffee down. "To walk. Just a little. By myself." Ethan's breath caught in his throat. He nodded slowly and moved beside her, ready to catch her if she stumbled. Step by step, Lily moved forward, slow, shaky, but standing tall. Her eyes focused, her mouth curved into the bravest little smile. When she reached Ethan, he bent down and hugged her tightly. "You're amazing," he whispered. "I'm so proud of you." "I want to get stronger," Lily said. "Not because I have to, but because I want to walk next to you." And in that moment, Ethan knew his daughter was the strongest person he had ever known. Later that week, Ethan started something new. He used his business success to build a local foundation for children with disabilities. The center offered free therapy, support groups, and art classes just like the ones that helped Lily find her joy again. He named it Lily's Light. People from across the region came to visit, to volunteer, to donate. But Ethan never cared about praise. He only cared that children felt safe, seen, and supported, just as Lily now was. Years would pass, but the memory of that one quiet afternoon, the moment he came home early, would stay with Ethan forever. What started as a day of heartbreak became the first day of healing. And from that pain, they built a new life, one full of love, truth, and light. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please click on that subscribe button now. Turn on the notifications so whenever I post more interesting stories you'll be the first to get them. I really appreciate you. I do not take your support for granted. See you in my next video. Bye.